Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoded, the place where we uncover the secrets hidden within those dusty corporate documents. Get ready because today we are diving into Dynatronics Corporation's latest filing. And let's just say some things look a little bit too good to be true, as we'll see later. This report is all about how shareholders voted on important company matters, and boy did they have some choices to make. We're going to break down exactly what happened at their annual meeting and what it means for the company's future, including who is running things and how they're being paid. Before we dive in, make sure you are subscribed to Corporate Decoder for more straight-to-the-point corporate breakdowns. And if you want to connect with fellow business enthusiasts, join our Discord community. You'll find the link in the description below. Alright, so what we have here is a Form 8K from Dynatronics Corporation. Think of this as a special report filed when really important things happen that the public needs to know about right away. This one is all about their 2025 annual meeting of shareholders, which they held on the 11th of December 2025. This section is where the rubber meets the road. It details exactly what proposals were put in front of the shareholders and how the votes turned out. We're talking about electing directors, approving the company's auditors, and even weighing in on how much executives get paid. First up was the election of directors. These are the folks who make the big decisions for the company. Shareholders got to vote on R. Scott Ward, Andrew Hewlett, and Brian D. Baker, and the results are all three were elected to serve until the next annual meeting. It looks like the shareholders have confidence in their current leadership team. Of the votes cast, R. Scott Ward received over 11.5 million votes for him. Andrew Hewlett got over 11.6 million votes for him. And Brian D. Baker secured over 11.5 million votes for him. That is a pretty strong show of support for these individuals to continue guiding the company. Next came the appointment of their independent auditors, Tanner LLC. This is like the company's financial checks and balances to make sure everything is on the up and up. Shareholders overwhelmingly ratified Tanner LLC's appointment with a whopping 128,07676 votes in favor. There were very few votes against this proposal, which shows broad agreement on having Tanner LLC continue their important work. Now for the part many people find most interesting, executive compensation. Shareholders got to vote on whether they approved of how the company's top executives are being paid. This is an advisory vote, meaning it is a recommendation, not a binding decision, but it still sends a strong message. The results show that the shareholders approved of the executive compensation with over 11.5 million votes in favor. However, there were also over 316,000 votes against it and some abstentions. While the majority approved, it is worth noting a considerable number of shareholders felt differently about the compensation packages. Following up on executive pay, shareholders also voted on how often they should get to cast an advisory vote on executive compensation. They could choose every year, every 2 years, or every 3 years. The results here are quite telling. An overwhelming majority, 11,476,248 votes, were in favor of holding these advisory votes every 3 years. This suggests shareholders are comfortable with a less frequent review of executive pay, or perhaps they feel the current system is working well enough that frequent votes are not necessary. In line with this strong vote, the board of directors has decided that advisory votes on executive compensation will now be held every 3 years. So what is the big picture here for Dynatronics Corporation? On one hand, the company saw strong support for its board members and auditor ratification, which indicates stability and confidence in the existing framework. The advisory vote on executive compensation passing with a majority shows that while there is a segment of shareholders with concerns, the overall sentiment is one of acceptance for the current pay structure. However, the fact that over 316,000 shareholders voted against the executive compensation and that a significant portion voted for a triennial review rather than annual might signal a desire for greater scrutiny, or perhaps a feeling that the current level of detail in annual votes is less impactful. The large number of broker votes, which were shares held by brokerage firms that did not receive voting instructions from the beneficial owners, is also something to keep an eye on. It means that a good chunk of shares were not actively participating in these decisions. Looking ahead, the company direction seems set with the re-elected board and the established 3-year cycle for executive pay votes. Dynatronics appears to be navigating a path that balances shareholder input with leadership autonomy. The key will be how the company addresses the underlying reasons for the dissenting votes on executive pay and continues to engage with shareholders who might feel their concerns are not being fully addressed. The company has consistently demonstrated its ability to maintain its operational standing, but the effectiveness of its executive compensation strategy in retaining top talent and motivating performance will remain a point of interest for investors. Alright, that is our breakdown of Dynatronics Corporation's latest filing. What is your take on these numbers and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.